Good morning, good afternoon, good evening. That is Jack. I'm Conrad, and this is the Footy 5 Euro 2021. We've made it through the first 12 matches. Everybody has played one match in their group stage. Some observations that we've made over those first 12. I think it would be wrong of us to start anywhere other than with Christian Eriksen. We intended to do a lot more Saturday, Sunday, yesterday, but after what happened with Christian Eriksen in the Denmark-Finland match, it really kind of took the wind out of our sails. We watched it, saw it live, immediately knew something was wrong. Wonderful to hear he's doing well. I'm not sure when he'll be out, but obviously tournament over, hopefully career not over, but it's hard to say at this point.
Yeah.
But the question here is, what's the right decision? On the left-hand side there, you've got the player. On the right-hand side, you've got UEFA. And in the middle, you've got these two teams that are supposed to be playing a match. Right?
Yeah.
COVID protocols allow you a 48-hour delay in a match. But for a heart attack, you get an hour and a half or the next day at noon.
Yeah.
There's no right answer here at all.
Yeah.
Like, you can't criticize these teams. You can't criticize UEFA. This is kind of unprecedented.
I don't think you can not criticize UEFA. I think UEFA are not the beacon of Scotty clean.
Yes, you can criticize them, but I'm not sure in this circumstance they deserve the brunt of the criticism.
Look, I mean, it's a tough situation. I would not want to be in their shoes. I mean, it was such an awful situation that you never want to have to be dealing with, because every time a player walks out on the field, you accept the physical risk that comes, but you never expect it to be like a mortal risk. It was such a stunning moment, and hats off to Simon Kjaer. I may be mispronouncing his last name. Casper Schmeichel.
Right. I mean,
the medics, Anthony Taylor. I mean, it was really, really well handled. And I mean, Eriksen, we mentioned it. When we were trying to be optimistic, we said, he's really close to all these great medical people. So we were optimistic, and I'm excited he's going to make a full recovery, hopefully. It was a really bad situation. It wasn't the first match, but it was one of the first matches. So it really, I think, it could have done two things. It could have put things into perspective, or could have just put a damper on everything. But I think it put everything in perspective and made us realize, like, this is a very important game. But also, I think it's the human life also was so volatile in the situation, and it was a memorable. It will be.
Yeah, I wanted to throw up. That was my reaction as we were just like cut away.
That
I mean,
the broadcasters cannot hold themselves in a good spot. That was, I think, the one person of blame in that situation. I did not want to see his wife reacting to that. I did not want to see them performing CPR on him. Not because I'm like afraid of that image, but you should not be subjecting the viewer to that. You should have a bit of a better moral compass. But
yeah, that's a hard one. You're reporting the news, it's news, but at the same time, if you're at work and you have a heart attack, there's no camera there recording you.
Yeah.
You're afforded some degree of privacy when this happens, right? Obviously, there are people that will see it, but you don't need, just because you've got a camera doesn't mean you need to broadcast it. I mean, there are so many different sides to that argument, but anyhow, I think UEFA trying to include the players in the decision was important. I don't think the decision, whether it was to resume the next day at noon or that afternoon, neither of those were very good. Say you do it the very next day. The color guy for ESPN, totally blanking on his name, spoke about playing for Sheffield Wednesday. They went to a funeral for a teammate on a Friday. Saturday, 0 heart in the match, right? Obviously, it's a slightly different circumstance. He did recover, but you saw those players as they were coming back out onto the pitch, and you saw what happened to Schmeichel. Can you chalk it up to that? It's an uncharacteristic error from him, but those players were not ready to play, and I don't think they would have been any more ready to play on Sunday at noon.
I mean, it was a tough situation because you have to get the quick turnaround because of the nature of the tournament. But you also want to respect that, look, I mean, they went through some serious trauma. You want to be like the feel-good, go win it for Christian, but it's tough, man. It's tough to do that after what you just saw. So hoping for the best for Denmark and for Christian Eriksen especially.
Next up, England get their first ever opening win in a Euro, and Germany just today get their first ever opening loss in a Euro. First win, first loss, who cares, right? Does it matter?
I think it does. I think it actually is emblematic of a shift. This England side is very young. This German side looks very old. The way they played that match, they were not shifting through the gears quickly. Mats Hummels, I think he's a great player, but he made that own goal because he was not the agile player. He was never been an agile player, never been a quick player, but he showed his age when he conceded that own goal. England, however, they're young, they're really exciting. They got some really, really good prospects throughout the squad. I think Germany have that throughout the ranks, but I think that Germany's at the end of a cycle, and England are potentially either at the apex or at the beginning of a cycle. So I think that it definitely is a symbol that, yes, England's on the up and Germany's on the down. So not a huge trend, but I think a trend nonetheless.
France should have won that 3-4-0. Germany lucky not to have been humiliated.
They put it in the net 3 times, and obviously offside is offside.
The Mbappe goal was just ridiculous.
Yeah.
It's just unbelievable. I don't know. He slotted it in between like 3 different guys off the post in. I mean, just
he's unbelievably talented.
Next up, own goals. We've already matched the 2016 record for an entire Euro tournament in terms of own goals. Obviously, the Demiral that was terrible. I mean, it was not his fault. I mean, the ball comes in, he tries to get his chest to angle it the away, right in the goal. Chesney, similar situation. And then we just talked about Hummels. We going to see this record get eclipsed? Obviously. I mean, is this laziness or is this, they call it clumsy here. I just think it's bad luck.
I think it is a situation of luck. I mean, I think there's very rare situations where you can look at an own goal and be like, wow, that was poorly done by the defender. Like in terms of technical ability, it's just kind of your body wasn't in the right position. The ball just hit you in a weird spot and it went past the goalkeeper. In the case of Chesney, I mean, there's nothing he can do there. He tries to get low to save a shot, and it just naturally just hits the post and hits his back and goes in. Like that's just the nature of the game. That sometimes you get unlucky like that. It's just a surprise that we've seen 3 and 12. Like that's been a remarkable trend. Hopefully it slows down.
All first goals of the match, right?
Deciders.
0-1, 0-1, 0-1 as a result of that.
Deciders.
Okay, so slightly less serious. Football should never, ever be played in a track stadium. It's terrible. Terrible. So you've got Nigel Adderley talking about the wonderful, spectacular atmosphere for the match. Yes, architecturally, the building looks great. Mm-hmm. It's an awful television experience, and it's got to be, according here to Sebastian Fry, an awful. Look at how far away you are. This is great tweet. 4,950 kilometers travel, and you're still 10K from the pitch.
Like there's the nosebleeds in American stadiums a lot, and even in a lot of stadiums in Europe.
But you're closer.
But you're closer. I mean, your front row. Like you're paying how many? Goodness knows, thousands of dollars of pounds to be as close to the action as is literally possible for a fan. And still, like, you can barely make out the players who are as close as they could be to you. It's just not a good experience. Like, and the
television product stinks too.
I recognize that it's tough to have a stadium like that's built for track. Also, you want to have it be multi-purpose, but
no purpose. It's the European Championships. You play it in a purpose-built soccer stadium, football stadium. Period. End of story.
Yeah.
Angry. I mean. Baku, beautiful. Azerbaijan, beautiful. Why put the European? Then they're playing a quarterfinal here, I think.
Yeah.
God. Anyhow, what am I doing? Angry. And with what happened to the Portugal kit? Why does it get so small? Not having it.
I was confused why you were upset about how small the kit was. I mean, it was just always that size, and I was wondering why you made it that size.
No,
I thought you were making a
enlarged it
point.
somewhere. No, it's terrible.
I mean, I don't hate it as much as you do. I think that the color of the green is nice, the mint, and I think it's interesting. It
works well with their other kits, the greens that they've got.
But I mean, it felt. I'm gonna be real symbolic here. It felt like their performance, just the stripes so distant from one another, not a ton of coordination, not the most pretty thing in the world. But at the end of the day, the jersey did what it needed to do. It tells you they're Portugal.
3 goals in the last 10 minutes.
Won.
3 goals in the last 10 minutes.
Look, I mean, Portugal have a lot of talent, and I think they're going to have a great advantage to the tournament because they're going to have such great depth, but they did not look cohesive. And the chances that they created, the classic Ronaldo when he doesn't get the ball passed to him, and like the... He's just got such a great visualization of his upsetness. That's why he's such a winner. It was a really interesting game. I think that it was nearly a terrible result because Hungary had scored first, but obviously was offside. So, again, the real symbolic nature of their jersey, the ugliness and distance.
I do not dig on stripes. I do not dig on hoops. This is hoops done
with stripes.
badly.
With stripes.
Really badly. That'll do it for us. Let us know what you think in the comments. Feel free to completely disagree on any of that. Some people love those Portugal kits, by the way. Great. That's why there's chocolate. That's why there's vanilla. But I think Nike, you can do better. Jack, Conrad, this has been the Footy 5 with our look at the first 12 matches, the first third of the group stage. Please do look for us on the Twitter at the Footy 5. Take care now.